My arm was keeping time with the door, not a heartbeat, not a tremor, a rhythm. The 3 points of light on my forearm, one for each word, were pulsing at the same interval as the hum in the cavern stone, perfectly matched, and I could feel the synchronization like a second pulse running underneath my own. Holt's question was still in the air. If I had not spoken, how had the door heard? But I was watching my arm answer her. "Sit down," Bello said. She had the field scanner, the one they used to check for radiation exposure after crossings. She pressed it to my forearm over the 3 points, and the display did something I had never seen it do. It flickered. Then it showed a waveform, not a vital sign, not radiation. A frequency. "That's the door's resonance," she said. "Exactly. Same harmonic, same amplitude. Your arm is outputting the door's frequency." I should have been frightened. I think I was. But the fear was distant, sitting behind something larger, the understanding that had been building since the glass world, since the third word settled into me without my permission. The language was not sitting in my memory. It was not stored the way vocabulary is stored, in some filing cabinet of the mind. It was active, transmitting. The words I had absorbed were broadcasting through me the way a current broadcasts through a wire, and the door, built to receive exactly that signal, had heard. I didn't speak the word, I said. I didn't have to. The words are not in my voice, they're in my body. The door heard me because I am conducting. Conducting what? Ray's asked. The sentence, Bello said before I could. She was reading the waveform, tracing it with her finger, and her voice had the tone it gets when the numbers are telling her something she does not want to believe. 3 words. 3 carrier waves, layered. He is not storing them. He is transmitting them constantly. Since the third word entered him, Holt said nothing. Holt watched. I looked at the door, at the socket, at the new coordinate glowing in the numerals, the one I had not set, the one the third word had set by existing inside me, and I saw what I had not seen in the dark, a thread, faint, silver, running from the base of the socket across the cavern stone, thin as a hair, ending at my feet. "There," I said. Bello knelt, touched it, drew her hand back. "It's warm. It's the same temperature as the door. The same temperature as your arm." She looked up at me. It grew while we were talking. "It wasn't there a minute ago. The grid was wiring itself to me. Not through contact, not through the crossing, through the language. Each word I absorbed made the connection deeper, more physical, more permanent. I was not a reader anymore. I was not even a navigator. I am the wire." Rays moved me 3 steps back from the thread. It stretched. It did not break. It thinned, dimmed, but held, the way a signal holds between an antenna and a receiver when you move but do not leave the range. "Can we cut it?" Rays asked. "Can you cut a frequency?" Bello said. "It's not a wire, it's a resonance made visible. Cutting the thread would be like cutting a sound. It's aimed," Holt said quietly. "The thread runs from the socket to Dr. Vance, and the socket is aimed at the new coordinate. He is part of the circuit. The door, the coordinate, the navigator." She stood, brushed her knees. When she spoke next, her voice was the voice I remember from the first day, the one that had told me I was chosen because I was dying and therefore expendable. Warm, precise, final. "The precursors didn't build a door that needed a navigator," she said. "They built a door that needed a host. Someone the language could live in. Someone who would become the connection between the mechanism and the grid. That is why they wrote it in a language no one could read. Not to hide it. To ensure that whoever decoded it would have to take it inside themselves, word by word, until they were close enough to carry the signal. And a dying man," I said, "would not have time to resist the process." "No," she said, "he would not." The hum rose, the thread brightened. The 3 points on my arm flared, and I felt something I had not felt since the red world, the pull. The 2 words that had been a bearing, and the third that had been a name combined into a direction, so precise it was less like navigation and more like falling. The new coordinate was not a place I could choose to go. It was a place the sentence needed me to be. The door began to open. No one had touched it. No one had set a face. No one had spoken a tone. The door opened because I was standing in the cavern conducting 3 words of a sentence that wanted to be finished. And the mechanism did what mechanisms do. It followed the current to the next connection. Through the opening, not a world, a corridor, silver lyro. The walls covered in script so dense it moved, flowing like water downhill, and at the far end a long way in, a shape. Not vast, not monstrous, human-sized. "Standing waiting, there's someone there," Bello whispered. The shape raised one hand. And in my chest, the 3 words rearranged, and I understood, with a certainty that went deeper than language, deeper than thought, that the shape was not someone. It was the one who had written the sentence I was reading. It was a precursor, and it was not dead.